Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about whether or not Assassin's Creed Empire should have multiplayer and why I think that. I haven't made a video about PvP multiplayer before, but I felt like I needed to address whether or not Assassin's Creed Empire should have multiplayer. Now, if you ask me, I'm not a major fan of multiplayer, so either way I would not be fussed. But I did enjoy Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed 4's multiplayers, as well as a little bit of Brotherhood and Revelations. So I suppose I like the multiplayer and would like to see the return of PvP multiplayer. However, I can say that I am not the biggest fan of the multiplayer in the games, and Unity's multiplayer was far from satisfactory. So I wouldn't like to see co-op return unless properly thought out. And in Unity it was thought out, but at the same time it felt like it wasn't, so I suppose you could say that Unity's multiplayer really wasn't that thought out, but at the same time it was fairly thought out. So that being said, I think that if they are to go and return to the co-op variant, they should definitely take more time to consider their options on what they can do, how they can make it work, and how they can make people not get trapped behind a door and all the glitches, and make it fun at the same time. So that would be quite interesting. Another thing that I'd like to see is, when we were speculating Assassin's Creed Syndicate before this announcement, someone came up with the idea of some form of gameplay that's sort of asynchronous, blah blah blah, which means that one person plays as one type of third person. The gameplay experience of the other person, however, is completely different, and say that would be really cool. However, at the same time, I'm not 100% certain on how that could be used, but I would like to see the return of PvP multiplayer, at least in Assassin's Creed Empire, not because it's mandatory, but because I enjoyed the PvP multiplayer aspect of previous games. Not necessarily the biggest fan of it, and I definitely preferred the main game over the multiplayer, but I would like to see it because I'd like to see the maps that they can use in ancient Egypt and Cairo and places like that, although Cairo wasn't exactly around in ancient times, but you know what I'm talking about, guys. So I would like to see stuff like that, to be fair. So comment what you think about that. Should multiplayer return? Let me know what you think. But for now, I just think that multiplayer needs to be considered and thought out very properly if they're going to use it. And if they are going to make a better game like they did with Syndicate, then they should definitely leave multiplayer out if push comes to shove. With Syndicate, it was focused on the main game, and the online features were very minimal, which made the game more enjoyable for single player, as they focused more time on that and didn't try to be seamlessly innovative in what they were doing, and they just tried to make a fun game, which I think by the end of it they really did do, so I'm quite satisfied with that overall. But, like I said before, comment what you think. I could be talking complete smack at you right now. Currently, I'm in a state of confusion, so I'm not going to confuse myself anymore, but I do believe that if they're going to do multiplayer, they definitely need to make it right. Instead of, all this buggery around and whatnot, they need to actually focus on it if they're going to do it, as well as focus on the main story, and not make sure it doesn't take from the main story, or doesn't add to it either, and it definitely is fun. If they're going to go back to the co-op of Unity and retry that, then I say good luck, but you need to focus a little bit more on how that works and make sure that everything is actually fun, because if it's not fun, then who's going to like the game, to be fair, if it's one of the main selling points are, shite, like with Unity. So that all being said, I would like to see a game that isn't robbed of its main story because they're focusing too much on multiplayer, but at the same time I would like to see PvP multiplayer at least return, although I'm not actually that fussed, because either way I win, because I'm more of a single player person and I'm not really about multiplayer, to be fair. I do like to be left alone when I play my games, and single player is definitely my forte. I know that sounds easier, but I'm just not a major fan of multiplayer. However, you guys may think differently, and if so, I want to hear your opinion, so comment down below what you want. Do you want to see multiplayer return in Assassin's Creed Empire? If so, let me know why, and etc. And if not, let me know why, and I am 100% gonna read all those. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you all in the next one with another video. So yeah.